Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And in this video, I actually want to look at some comments, well, some negative comments. But before I do that, I wanted to show the Fear and Greed Index, and I just wanted to look at this chart for about 5 seconds. Well, it's not really a chart, but just look at it for like 5 seconds. I'm just going to sit in silence and I wanted to look at what it says over here. So here we go. As you can see, the Fear and Greed Index is currently at 46. What does that mean? Well, everybody is fearful right now, and why is that? Well, because the market is just going sideways. Even though Bitcoin is at like $95,000, the market is fearful for some reason. And yeah, let's take a look at some comments. Now, these comments are going to be negative because, of course, when the price is going down, I get negative comments, and when the price is going up, I get positive comments. This has happened multiple times in the past, and I think it's really funny. So let's take a look at the first comment I have, and it's very long, so I'm just going to read everything it says and I'm going to respond to everything. So this first comment is by the outer board, and it says, "You are personally confirming that each cycle has a different structure, but you are always also comparing to the past. It gets boring day by day if you keep saying the exact same thing." Well, first of all, of course it's boring because, the price is going sideways and there's not much else to say. I've told you everything that you need to know, so I'm not just going to, give you new information because there's nothing new to talk about. But once something actually happens, then I will also give you, a million updates, especially on the Discord server. So yeah, now let's also reply to this right here. "You are personally confirming that each cycle has a different structure." I have never said that in my previous videos. Like I told you many times, I'm talking about Cardano right now. The structure that we are in right now looks very similar to the structure that we were in exactly 4 years ago. Now, like I said, from a 4-year cycle point of view, exactly 4 years ago, we were up here, but that's only because during this time, we were in QE and not in QT. And also we have to remember that when Cardano went up right here, Bitcoin dominance did not go down. It was just going sideways. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is going sideways, but Cardano is not going up. So yeah, Cardano is not doing the exact same thing that it was doing exactly 4 years ago, but that's okay because, like I said, the structure is still the exact same. We are still in an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, and yet people are still complaining just like they were up here, well, actually down here. And I've told you many times, there's nothing to worry about. If you bought down here or if you bought in the support zone up here, you should still be fine in the long term. And also, I don't really understand why people are complaining that the videos are boring, because the market is also boring. I cannot really tell you anything else. Yes, I can say that, yeah, Cardano is going to like $500 by the end of tomorrow. But of course, that's gonna get views, but that's not really true, is it? So yeah, I cannot give you false expectations. And yeah, let's continue with the comments. So please integrate also with macro situations, like what is happening in the community and the ecosystem. Otherwise, you seem to be talking the same thing every single day. Ha 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 ha. So first of all, whatever happens in the ecosystem does not even matter because, and let me explain why, if Bitcoin goes sideways and if we get some great news about Cardano, it's not going to matter. I can tell you this from experience. If we get huge news and something happens with Cardano, if Bitcoin does not go up during that time, Cardano will not go up, and that's how it works, unfortunately. So you have to stop looking at news and you have to, just focus on the chart, because the chart will tell you everything you need to know, not the news. So stop FOMOing in whenever you see any kind of news, because most of the times they're just, yes, they are good news, but they are pretty much useless, especially for the altcoin charts. So it's not going to matter in the long term anyways. Now, the next comment says, "Exactly, looking at previous cycles, but saying that this cycle is different." Well, yes, it is different because in this cycle we are not in QE, at least not yet. However, like I told you many times, the structure is the exact same one, so I don't really understand why I have to keep repeating myself. Even the Elliott wave count is still valid, everything is still good, so even if you don't believe what I have to say about what happened in the previous cycle, and even if you don't believe that, we will copy exactly what we did here, the Elliott wave count still suggests that we will have a third wave at some point, because the price reacted to the support zones many times, so it's fair to say that even if we don't really do what we did in the previous cycle, and things are going to be okay in the long term, because the Elliott wave count, it has worked so far. I've been making videos since we were down here, and I kept telling you that at some point we will start a third wave because the price reacted to the support zone many times, and we went up after that. And well, you know, during this time when Cardano was getting these huge move to the upside, I mean, everybody was just FOMOing in. My views were tripling during that time, and yeah, the subscribers, I was getting like 50 new subscribers a day, maybe even 100 subscribers a day. And once this, you know, move stopped happening, and once we started going down, I mean, when we had this huge wick to the downside, I actually lost like 2 members, which is really funny because people don't really seem to understand that these moves are actually normal. And of course, nobody was expecting Cardano to drop this much, but you cannot really blame Cardano for this. And what you need to blame right now is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going sideways and it's not really doing anything. But you also have to, you know, remember that in this cycle, Bitcoin broke its previous all-time highs way earlier than it did in the previous couple of cycles. So yes, we are doing different things, which is normal. However, that does not mean that some of the things that happened in the previous couple of cycles will not repeat again. So even if we don't copy the exact same thing, that does not mean that, you know, we will not go up in the long term. Bitcoin is always going up. If you look at the daily chart, I mean, it never really goes down. Even if you look at the monthly chart, I mean, it's on an uptrend. It has been in an uptrend for about, what, about 12 years now? So of course, we're expecting it to go up even more. I mean, that's how it works. And of course, if Bitcoin does that, then Cardano will do it as well. It's only fair to say that. So I don't really understand these comments. Now let's continue. Agree, macro, Bitcoin dominance and other factors which are so much more influential. Charts are a joke. So wait, you are calling charts a joke, but you are watching a technical analysis video. I don't really understand what you're doing here. I mean, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to look at the stars and tell you that, yeah, Cardano will go to like $500 million by the end of tomorrow? That's not how it works. The charts will tell you what could happen next. And so far they did, and even the elite wave count worked pretty well, so I don't really understand what we're saying right here. You can have the most promising chart, but if Bitcoin sneezes, all altcoins get in a free fall state, given Bitcoin dominance right now. Well, yeah, that's how Bitcoin dominance works. If it's up near all-time highs, well, near cycle highs, then of course when Bitcoin drops, the altcoins will suffer more than Bitcoin because that's how Bitcoin dominance usually goes up. However, if Bitcoin dominance starts going down, and if Bitcoin drops during that time, then the altcoins will not drop as much as Bitcoin, and that's usually how it starts. I mean, of course, usually an altcoin season starts when Bitcoin finally starts going up again, and when the altcoins start outperforming Bitcoin. However, Bitcoin dominance can also go down when the altcoins, you know, outperform Bitcoin when it's going down. So yeah, I don't really understand what this is saying either. And like I said, the fear and greed index right now, it's very low. People are fearful, and I think you should be greedy. So yeah, I keep getting these comments. These are very stupid comments in my opinion. This one has 17 likes. And of course, many people are agreeing with it. And why is that? Well, because people bought up here. And of course, if you bought up here, I mean, in the long term, you will still be okay. But like I told you, I mean, these corrections are normal and you cannot expect to buy after like a 300% pump and not get a correction after that. So this is very normal. And like I said, in the long term, you are going to be okay. But if you bought up here and you come into my comments to complain, this is not going to, you know, do anything to the chart. This is only going to bring negativity into the crypto space. And I don't think anybody wants that. Also, there's another comment I want to look at, which is this right here. Why so much negativity this time around? Isn't it smart to compare it to the 2017 bull cycle? Well, I've already done that multiple times, and also, speaking of the negativity, when I was telling you that ADA was overbought on the 4-hour up here, it was at about 82 cents, and I did tell you that it is possible that it goes down after that, and exactly after I posted my video, Cardano dropped from 82 cents to about 74 cents. So, is the negativity justified? Well, I think it is. And I already told you why I think this would happen, and it did happen. We cooled off on the 4-hour RSI, and right now we could start a bounce. We'll see if that happens or not. And I've told you a million times already, we are trying to get above the bull market support band, and if we get above it, we could see a very huge rally. But if we get rejected, then yeah, you can expect, you know, something like a double bottom, maybe even another low in the second wave right here before we continue. I'm not trying to be bearish, like I told you many times. Cardano is respecting support levels, so I'm still bullish in the long term. However, that does not mean that I cannot be bearish in the short term at least. And yeah, right now, I mean, if we get rejected by the bull market support band, I will turn bearish for the short term, but I will not be bearish in the long term, of course not. I mean, Cardano at the end of the day is still respecting support levels. So yeah, like I said, you should stop looking at charts all day, and you should stop complaining about the fact that the videos are boring, because the videos are meant to be boring, and if you are watching them, I mean, I'm making them pretty much for the people who want to, trade or buy in the short term and sell in the short term. Right now, if you want to sell in a couple of months, maybe in a couple of years, you should stop looking at the charts all day, because it's not really healthy, and that's actually my job. And, I mean, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon. If you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.